Crazies, man. Welcome back to the lab. Lee here. You did see that title too as well. We are actually talking about me. How I became lab. Yes, weird thing, and I know probably heard the story. Many do, many have been around. But, I have to speak my story. I have to tell my story. I'm not going to go straight crazy and tell you my whole 42 years of life, a whole complete kind of story. I'm going to kind of just break it down in little spots and stuff like that. For y'all who don't know, man, I am Lee. Actually, Lab is my initials for my whole name too as well. And, it's kind of got there for a big haul. A lot of trials and tribulations, tests in life, if you want to call it. I was born in Utah in 81. I moved to England as a military brat. My parents were military in England. My dad, my first real big memory of my life was my dad, my real father, leaving me at 3, getting on a bus and going away. Mark that as one tribulation there. Not really, but I guess so. It's still there in my mind, But from there, we lived in England for a good 7 years. Moved to England. I moved from England to Louisiana, Alexandria, and I had to be in like 2nd grade, 3rd grade. I don't know, probably 2nd. I can't even tell you. And I remember being picked on because of my accent, my British accent. So I shut down. I stopped reading. I stopped talking. I stopped doing a lot of things kids would do, and I kind of got was bullied a little bit, I guess, but just for my accent and my color, and because I'm mixed and all of that. But through that, we lived in lived around and swim, lived in Louisiana. Went to Germany. Loved Germany. Germany was awesome. Got to see, you've heard me talk about this the whole time. Got to go to Ramstein Air Force Base. 4 years there. Got to go. Great teachers. Actually got 6th grade. Got to go back to London, back to England to see the Cats, the Broadway show. 5 Guys Named Mo, Phantom of the Opera. The list goes on. And then moved to Italy from Germany, and from there was kind of a little bit of, I don't know, maybe a little bit more trauma. Mom unfortunately became an alcoholic at that time. And there's many times that I would come home from school and she'd be passed out on the ground and stuff like that. Something for a mind of a kid that was in my mind. I held that against my mom for so damn long. And that's something I kind of regret. I fully regret. I held it against her. I guess it was a part of my mind of seeing, and from there, we came from Italy. We moved here to Florida, not exactly at the spot I am now, but Northwest Florida, Destin area. And, I had some kind of experiences there too at school and, get picked on, but I was a sports jock, did what I did, and through that time, Mom got divorced. Might have hit me hard a little bit, blamed myself. Could have been me, I don't know. But with that, growing up, had my, at that part, from there, I got into a little bit of trouble in the law, and, I had to basically, it was either go to jail or go to Morganfield, Kentucky. Job Corps. If anybody knows about Job Corps, just look it up. It isn't what it looks like on the internet. Trust me, it's basically minimum security learning facility jail. That's basically how you could put that. From that, I've got a lot of memories flowing through right now. From that too, 9/11 came around, and I ended up coming back home. And I basically worked, got a job, started working out, and then I started working, and then I met my wife. Beautiful soul, still a beautiful soul to this day, or I should say my ex-wife. But thank God her heart, and had my child. But all before that, in my 30s, unfortunately I got addicted to opiates, an opiate survivor I am. I was down deep on pills. And that's what basically ruined my marriage. Yes, I had my child, and I take care of 3 other children, 2 of myself before my own child. And, I got deep in pills. I was working in restaurants late at night doing, it's just restaurants. You can find anything and everything in that place, believe me. So, that was what ruined my marriage, was my pill addiction. And that's what brought me down here. Her mom brought me down here to Central Florida to get my life straight, basically. And really, it was either that or I basically would die on these pills. And thank God that she did get me down here and saved my life. And so, and that was 10 years ago, actually. So 10 years, getting off the pills was rough, getting a little tough, it was rough. It was really, really rough. A lot of my family, we had a family reunion, a lot of my family remembers me as that pill addicted kid, and they don't see nothing else different. They haven't seen like this change. But through all of that, going, getting myself back together, getting, doing some good outwork job, getting my mind back right, knowing what I can do, the powers in me. I came in, I'm still Lee at this time, but technically I'm always Lee. And 7 years ago, I had an option to basically have a psychedelic. I took psychedelics before, maybe once or twice. My first trip I ever had when I was a kid was at 16. It was the worst trip I've ever had in my entire life. I don't tell you the truth, I don't think I actually touched a psychedelic after that. A lot of ecstasy too, but that's back in the day. But no, I had a chance to take a trip, and I did it the right way. And that day, and I know this sounds corny, a lot of people would say this, and you hear it all the time. I mean, 90%, 89%, 100% of people, that trip changed my life. It changed my life. It took a lot of the fear, guilt, anger out of me a little bit. It reformed me. Then lab came around, and then lab is, I'm stuck in the lab. That's kind of where the lab comes in. I got stuck in the lab, and from there, I just started learning. And for me to look back at that accomplishment was just from getting off the pills, and I know from pills to a psychedelic, but how. But psychedelic was something that just changed me. It changed my whole thought of mind. It took everything that, I don't know, didn't exist to me, or didn't answer. I don't know how you would put it. There's no way to explain it to you unless you go through it. It's like stepping out of the Matrix, seeing the Matrix. I can't tell you. You got to see it for yourself. But through that whole time, I got a good job working at Planet Fitness. And the pandemic came around, and unfortunately, as soon as the pandemic came around, Mom had a heart attack, and it wasn't a bad one. I can't say it wasn't a bad one. It wasn't a good one, or heart attacks are heart attacks, regardless how you look at it. So and that was during the pandemic. Literally, the pandemic. It was crazy, and from through pandemic, it went over. I'm still working. And Mom's health kept going down. For y'all who knows the pain, I'll get to the point of my story eventually. But Mom's health started going down, so my mental state, in a sense of I'm watching my hero go down, was hard. And then as soon as about a year later, you see the dementia, the Alzheimer's starting to kick in, where she had to be watched a little bit. So I had to quit my job, to take care of my mother. And one of the best things I've ever done in my life, best sacrifice I would ever done, and I wouldn't change that for the world. Yeah, I would, because I would change it to bring my mama back for sure. But, that's here or there, that's a sort of human thing. But, I wouldn't change it in the world. And then seeing Mom, leave this beautiful plane, this distance, leave this game, a year later, last year, was devastating. His hero took me in, brought me, saved my life, and that. And I guess this point of the story, I don't want no just stuff. And now I'm here a year later. Everything, is wonderful, in a sense. I started working at Aldi's beginning of the year, beginning of last year, just sitting on my ass, and I couldn't do it. So now I got a wonderful career job that unfortunately I don't start until the 22nd. But I'm sitting here thinking, and I'm sitting here, kind of kicking myself in the butt as well. And it's to me, and I cry about it a lot. I guess I do because I don't know. I'm tired in a sense. I'm tired of struggling. I'm tired of being, I don't know. It feels like the last 20 years of my life, it's been a fucking monkey throwing barrels at me. And, I get moving again, I'm knocked back down. I get going again, knocked back down. And, mom was big knocked down. But, this whole part of me, I took this leap of faith, actually, quitting this nursery, putting my 2 weeks in, finding a new job, finding everything else. It was working great. I just wasn't expected to start at the 22nd of this month. But, and taking this leap of faith, and this is kind of the point of the story of it, this all me rambling, through this teaching of who I am, coming into lab, coming into Lee Allen, and it's been amazing. It's been having this faith of everything, and it's kind of what psychedelics did to me. It brought me this faith. It brought me closer to my spirituality, closer to the source, to my ancestors, to my spirit guides. And through this whole process, through the last couple of years, I've had this sense of it's going to be all right. It'll make sense for those who understand it a little bit, that hear that, it's that feeling. Yeah, right now I'm struggling as shit. I got 9 cents in my bank account. I'm struggling, no gas. It's real, but I have a smile on my face. I'm not worried about it. I mean, I am, but I'm not, but I have this sense of it's already handled, it's taken care of. And that's kind of part of who I am, who Lab is, who Lee is. I'm part of this spirit thing, this energy of saying that no matter what we're all going through, and I know a lot of us are going through it. I know we're fucking tired. I know this. I am tired. I feel it. I feel the energy, and it's going to be okay. And I guess I'm saying that to myself to reassure myself, maybe, and to reassure somebody else. But, the sense that I have, it's going to be okay. It's going to be fine. It's taken care of. The universe has got us. God has got us. Source has got us. And you know me, when I'm talking about God, I'm talking about the source. I ain't talking about no other motherfucking person in this world. I'm talking about the source. It's got us back, man. The ancestors got our backs, man. Our spirit guys got our backs. And I guess I'm here telling you this because this is my story. My story is now begun for y'all, for me, for betterness. I am speaking myself. I am Yak, Inak, Inasak. It's who I am. My shots. I am you. I am me. I'm everybody. I'm everything, just like you. And I feel much better talking about this right now because it's been on my mind to tell you this story, to tell you everything, what's going on, why I'm asking, it's just been a little rough, but it feels good. I have a voice. You have a voice. Don't be afraid to use your voice because not just for me or any of us, it will help. The universe needs to hear it. You need to hear it. You need to put it out there. And I'm here to hear you too. I'm not just going to be here to tell you my story. I'm here for y'all. Come talk to me. Come bring your energy. Bring yourself. Good vibes, good energies. And we'll get the bad shit out of you. I promise. I promise you that. I ain't got no hell for nobody. No ill for y'all. And I love y'all to death. Anyways, that's my story a little bit. That's how I became Lab. Lee went to the lab, to the lab, to the lead, to the lead, to the B. That's how it is, man. And I'm looking forward to a whole new beginning. With this too, if you're at the end of all this and you're still here, I have been invited to the Mandela Effect Conference in Tennessee in November. I will talk more about it, but cool things, awesome stuff. Other than that, love y'all to death. Much love. Keep your eyes open. Your mind to see it. Flip it around. You already know, man. And namaste.
I'm going to hang up this phone, and then I'm going to show these people what you don't want them to see. I'm going to show them a world without you. A world without rules and controls, without borders or boundaries. A world where anything is possible. Where we go from there is a choice I leave to you.